For today's class, we're doing a 12-minute Pilates mat workout. You're just going to start laying on the ground. Be sure you have plenty of space and you're in neutral spine. So your spine has that natural curve. I have my armpit up so you can see it. I'm not doing an imprinted, but a real nice neutral. So let's go ahead and make sure our heels are also in line with our sit bones, not with the flesh of the muscle. We're going to turn our palms to the ceiling. We're just going to start with a nice inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouth while engaging our abdominals, finding that low Kegel muscle. So again, inhale through your nose and gentle exhale through your mouth, drawing those low abs in. Again, finding that deep pelvic floor and spine connection without moving your bones. Now we're going to start to move into our imprints. We're going to tighten through the inner and outer obliques, trying not to use our hamstrings and glutes. So you're not going to feel that engagement there, but you're going to still feel that kind of slight tipping of the pelvis and elongation through the low back as you exhale to imprint. Inhale to neutral. And remember, neutral is not fully relaxed. There's still a deep engagement through all of those muscles, especially the transverse, which is the muscle that wraps around your torso. Again, exhaling into imprint. And then back to neutral. Now we're going to use those hamstrings and glutes to roll up. I'm reaching my hands nice and long to make sure that I'm not popping or sagging down. I'm making a nice little flat line with my body. And again, we're going to exhale, tuck that tailbone under and roll all the way back and down and back to neutral. And again, inhale, a little sip of air. Exhale for 2, rolling up. We're going to do 4 of these. Inhale, exhale, tuck that tailbone under and roll all the way back and down and back to neutral. And again, exhaling, gentle imprint, rolling up, really feeling the inner thighs engage as well as the hamstrings and that gluteal fold. And back to neutral, long spine. Exhaling, gentle imprint, tuck that tailbone under and we're going to hold here. We're going to have a little bit of rotation, so one hip's going to come away and then the other. And again, we're going to do 4. Exhale, and little rotation. Exhale, squeeze the glutes to recover back to center. And again for 3, exhale. And 4, and 4, and exhale, squeeze, and exhale, squeeze. Feeling that nice strong engagement and rolling all the way back down to neutral. Strong engagement, inhale here, exhale, rolling those hips up. We're going to slide those fingers, really still keeping that parallel up into your hip flexors. We're going to squeeze going down and exhale, squeeze back up for 4. Exhale, 3, squeezing, pressing down into those big toes, finding that strong connection, finding that deep connection even into the rib cage as we go. Exhale, squeeze, and let's do a couple more for fun. Squeeze and squeeze, exhaling, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, drawing those abs in nice and flat, and hold, tuck that tailbone under, and roll all the way back and down. Again, that nice, strong ab connection. Squeezing in from either side, we're going to float our hands behind the nape of the neck to support the head, sliding the shoulder blades down, finding that connection down into the lats. As we inhale, exhale, coming up into that little flexion, not squeezing our bum, but keeping it nice and neutral, so it's nice and flat from the pubic bone. So it's that engagement from not the glutes, but from the abs. And again, exhale, little pulse. Flexing from the ribcage, almost like we're taking our ribs and folding them in towards our internal organ, keeping our nice soft jaws, soft mouth, so that we're creating as little tension in the upper neck and face as possible as we exhale. And again, exhale, flexing. And beautiful long neck as we add a little bit of rotation. And it's like you're spiraling. You're not pulling on the head. It's like you have a dowel on the top of the head and you're creating a little bit of a twist. Exhale, rotate for 3. And 4, and 5, and 6, strong abs, 7, shoulder blades off the floor, 8, still keeping that nice soft face and mouth, 9, and 10, back to center, hold, come up half an inch, drawing those abs in nice and tight, and inhale, lengthen back and down to release, again, floating those hands down by your side. Beautiful. We're going to roll on over, and we're going to just very gently come to laying on our stomachs. We're going to have our feet a little bit wider so you can see that they're a little bit wider than the mat, so to help facilitate the movement. And I'm going to have both of my hands folded and them gently resting on my forehead. I'm going to inhale here, exhale, tuck that tailbone under, pulling those low abs in, finding that nice strong connection strong lat connection as I inhale through the nose. Exhale, float the head and shoulders half an inch off the floor. And I'm going to hold, drawing those ribs in, tucking that tailbone under. I will feel my hamstrings and glutes engaging, but kind of no more than 20%. And then I'm going to slowly lower back and down. Give my hips a little bit of a wiggle and switch which hand is on top. And again, tucking that tailbone under, pulling the ribs away from the floor. So again, I'm not coming up into my low back, but I'm really strengthening basically from the bra strap up. Again, holding that, drawing those abs in, supporting the low back, and gently release, wiggle those hips. Nice release through the body. We're going to tuck that tailbone under, draw those abs in. We're going to float our legs up. Again, not bending our knees, but trying to lift from our thighs, going into some little gentle swimmers, trying not to bend at the knees, lengthening through the hip flexor. So it's an active hip flexor opener. And you can just give yourselves little sips of air as you move into those little gentle like kind of swimmers with your legs. Again, we're trying to keep our hips really still in this exercise so that we're not using our not using our abs. We're really using those abs to support that spine. Bend those knees. We'll just release that. Good job. You should feel definitely a lot of work all the way down the back of the body. Now we're going to add a little bit of thoracic extension. I'm going to hover my elbows off of the floor, pressing down through the heel of my hand. So I activate all the way up the back of the arm and down again into those triceps. I'm going to tuck that tailbone under and inhale, floating and lengthening the spine. Try not to compress in the neck, but keep the neck long. So the neck is an extension of the spine. And then I'm going to exhale, slowly lengthen all the way back and down. Big sip of air, inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, press down into the floor as you inhale. Find that beautiful swan, opening up the chest and shoulders, and then slowly lengthening all the way back and down. Release and press down, inhale. Exhale, tuck that tailbone, inhale, beautiful long spine, opening up the face, keeping that tight kind of broadness in the chest, lengthening all the way back and down. Last time. Tuck that tailbone under, inhale, lengthening that spine up, opening up, gorgeous extension, and slowly lengthening back and down. Again, let's pick our hands by our hips, give ourselves a little bit of a wiggle, tuck that tailbone under. You can kind of bend those knees if you're feeling any extra tension in the low back and hips. And you're going to very gently press up and give yourself a little shell stretch, rounding through the spine for 3. Slowly come up into all fours. Again, we're not going to be tucking our tailbone, but working from that lat engagement and keeping that nice neutral spine. Trying not to hyperextend our elbows, but keeping them nice and strong. We're just going to inhale here, soft abs, and exhale, extending the leg out, drawing the core in like you have a little invisible teacup, trying not to let the hip open, except for when you're meaning to, and then keeping it nice and square. So it's going to be an open and then a drawing back to square. So it's really active, open, and exhale back to square. So you're really mobilizing and stabilizing at the same time. And again, opening back to square without hyperextending those elbows, still keeping that nice strong connection through the body. And release, other side. Try to keep those abs nice and tight. Again, keeping the hips square as we extend out, and then open and unsquare, re-square. And you're really creating that mobilization from the hip joint, still really using the abs to support the pelvis and the back. Rotating open. Keep the face soft, shoulders down, elbows soft, so you're not pushing into that hyperextension in the elbows. Again, unsquaring and resquaring, creating that strength and also creating that mobilization. And just slowly draw it back and in. Tuck those toes under. We're going to really draw those hips down, making sure the hip is over the knee and the shoulders are over the hand, so you don't go into your neck. You're going to draw the abs in, tuck that tailbone just a little bit, drawing the core in, squeeze that armpit, keeping that nice and soft, and you're just going to push against the floor, floating those knees up. We're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and float it down. Nice big inhale. You take a little bit of an extension. Exhale, a little flexion. And right back to neutral. Again, soft elbows. Again, squeezing those armpits. Draw those abs in. Floating it up. Keeping that nice relaxed face as you hold it. Hold it. Hold it nice and strong. And gently release. Again, little extension through the spine. Exhale, a little flexion through the spine. Nice and strong. Gorgeous bodies. Yay! Now we're going to just add a little bit of a stretch for the end. It's going to feel so nice. We're going to just scooch forward, and you're going to very gently roll down onto your back. Again, your feet are, again, a little bit further away from you this time, but hip distance apart. We're going to thread our right foot down, grabbing onto our ankle with our left knee to open up through the hip and quadricep, kind of feeling that nice gentle release. And then I'm going to gently hug that knee in. Now, you might want a TheraBand or a strap nearby for this, because we're going to do a little bit of extension work as well. And I'm going to gently rock that hip from side to side, releasing any tension in the low back or hip joint. Breathing slowly. Try not to keep the shoulder in the ear. Try to keep it down. So you're still in Pilates class. Still getting that nice release through the hip. Beautiful long neck, beautiful soft jaw as we find that nice little release. Now, you can extend that bottom leg long, or you can always bend the knee and place the foot on the floor. Grab that strap, or just gently grab onto the back of the leg, and we're going to just gently kind of flex and point that foot. So you can kind of either hold nice and strong, pulling down, trying not to let the tension come into the neck, or you can just gently hold, just flexing that foot nice and strong. Whatever feels right for you. Just feeling that nice lengthening through the back of the body, pulling down. Still, see, it's kind of like a nice neutral spine for all of this. Now we're going to try the other side. Threading that right foot down, left foot down, grabbing on with your right hand, opening it through the left hip flexor as I reach my opposite knee up and into my chest. And I'm just going to very gently kind of hold it and kind of hug it in, so it's that nice little oppositional pull. And I'm out just breathing as I feel that nice gentle oppositional release. And I'm going to now gently rock that leg side to side so that I have that gorgeous kind of soft opening through the body. It should feel really nice. This kind of releases any extra tension in the low back or hips. You can slowly release that top leg or bend to that knee in as you extend that leg up, and you can always grab again a TheraBand or a belt or any kind of apparatus to kind of get a little extra tension. Sometimes even just a nice little like hand towel will work, or face towel. And you can flex and point that foot pulling in, or just hold the flex, keeping tension out of the neck, just feeling that nice elongation through the back of the leg. This should feel so nice, or at least it feels intense. Go ahead and gently release. And you can always pause and do any of these a little bit longer. And there we are. Thank you so much for joining you, and I will see you again.